Hello, this is Attorney Bilal Khalik. I'm an immigration attorney here in Dallas, Texas. Our phone number is 214-453-2500. Our website is boldlegal.com. Today I want to talk about a little serious topic that has a very profound effect for part of our community. I do get a lot of phone calls from spouses who have just immigrated to the United States. A U.S. citizen or a permanent resident gets married to somebody overseas, and they bring them over here. They bring them over here legally. And unfortunately, the people who bring them here turn out to be very, very abusive. I've actually heard from clients who say that my husband, my wife, regularly beats me up, violates my rights, emotionally abusive, pushes me around. And if I complain, they say, hey, what can I get you deported? So they live in this constant fear of losing their relationship, of course, but also losing their status over here. So if you are a victim or if you're in an abusive relationship, you don't have to continue that, because our government actually provides a relief for victims of abusive spouses. The application regularly, if your spouse files your green card, is called the I-130. And of course, it's the spouse who's the citizen, signs the application and says, I'd like to petition for my foreign spouse. If, however, you're a victim of abuse, you can self-petition. You can file your own paperwork. But you need to have good documentation so that when the officer interviews you, you can have the right evidence, the right statements, the right witnesses. If you had to call the police, if your spouse got arrested for domestic violence, make sure that that's properly documented so that when they interview, you can prove that you were actually a victim of abuse. If you can prove that, our government will give you a green card regardless of your petitioner, sponsoring you or not. Also, if you're in deportation processing, there is something called a cancellation of removal process, where if you've been a victim of abuse by a U.S. citizen spouse or a parent, then you can actually apply to stay here as long as you've been in the country for 3 years. And then the immigration judge hears your petition, and if he feels like that you're a victim of abuse, will go ahead and give you a green card. Now, for both of these cases, your own criminal background has to be totally clear. You can't be convicted of a serious crime or a felony or a crime of moral turpitude and then apply for this benefit, because you could be the victim of abuse, but we've got to make sure that you're not a perpetrator in some of the crime. The only exception is that you got accused of the crime as a result of the abuse. So for example, you were trying to defend yourself in self-defense from your abusive spouse, and somehow, by the craziness of the luck, you get convicted of domestic violence, even though you were the one on the defensive side. You'll have the opportunity to explain that to the judge. So if you are in an abusive relationship and you're afraid of your immigration status, please don't continue that. There's relief for you, there's safety for you, there's a lot of nonprofits out there that can help you, give you shelter, even pay your legal bills, and train you for a job and give you counseling so that you can exit an abusive relationship and still maintain your immigration status. Again, we offer free consultation. Feel free to give us a call, boldlegal.com, 214-453-2500. This is Attorney Bilal Khalik.